All right. Hi, welcome. I have an amazing workout for you today with both cardio and strength training. My name is Ria, and I'll promise you that if you work really hard for 40 minutes, it will be just as effective as if you work for 1 hour. Yes, that's possible. After around 40 minutes of workout, we'll do 45 if you want to join cross yoga, slow yoga with a Christian perspective. So just in a minute, we'll get started. And I'm Ria, I'm from Denmark, but I speak English today because we want to reach out to all of Europe and all of the world, of course, with workouts and cross yoga and all that. And before we start, I just have to show you these. I made them for a conference that we were supposed to have, but because of the coronavirus, everything was canceled or postponed. So now they're just laying there, and it's advertisement for our teacher trainings that CrossYoga have for yoga, of course, in London in September and in Amsterdam in November. And it's still on. It's still on, and it's still really cheap. So if you have any interest in becoming a yoga instructor, now is your time. So we'll keep having that. Just wanted to mention that because some people asking, is it still on and stuff like that. There's like a month until September. So yes, of course it's still on. All right. If you are ready to get a really excellent start of your weekend, now is your time. Let's do with some hips today. Starting there, it will be harder later on, trust me, it will. But right now, let's just get those hips moving in big circles. Now, what you need for this workout is basically a mat. Yes, unless you're on a carpet floor or something like that, a mat. And if you have some weights, let's turn the circles the other way around. Go and fetch that. As I said before, it can be cleaning products, bottles of water, whatever, just something a little bit heavy that will get your workout a little bit more effective. So go and grab that while we're warming up, and let your warm up being running to the closet or whatever. All right, get your shoulders moving and come up on your toes. So warming up at least 4 or 5 minutes, because that is important before we get into the workout. Big, huge shoulder movements. And sometimes you might feel that squeaking something in your shoulders as you move them. It's just a sign that you really, really need to move your shoulders. It's like all the way around, right? Okay, let's do I call it running here. Heels towards the glutes, buttocks, arms lifts up and down. And this got our cardio system up and running. Do it slower if you don't want to jump. But this is a class where I do a little bit of jumping. Of course, I'll show you also the easier versions of everything. As always, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. That will kind of boost our channel and the videos. So everything in that area is just, thank you. Jumping jacks. Walking, jumping. If you are having a hard time, it can be with your root lock, pelvic floor. Maybe this is your version, not jumping. See if your fingers can reach each other above your head. And get some distance in between your feet so that you'll get your heartbeat up. Beautiful. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left elbow, right knee, and then switch it up. I'm jumping, again, to get warmer faster. But of course, you can stay here. I'll not jump. But make sure you lift that arm, that reach for the elbow or the knee actually, high, reaching up. Turn your shoulders and breathe. 3, 4, 2, not counting up. 1. Beautiful squats. Toes out, knees out. Sit down. Use your glutes and really squeeze as you lift up. Not going too fast. And then we can pray, maybe just for some guidance and strength to this class. I know you might be tired, weary, things going on. It certainly is in my life. But I believe that everything can be worked out for the greater good. Let's take 6 faster. So 6, 5, 4, getting all the way down. 3, 2, 1. All right, twisting. Move your hip around as we did just at the beginning of this class, if you don't want to jump. Take your hands up. Just have a look at your arms above shoulder height. And just move and move and play with it. You can do crazy stuff. This is just real workout. I'm not trying to look skinnier or brown or fancy or anything. I'm just me. I just want to work out, and I want to work out with you and just have some fun as we're moving our bodies, especially during this time. 3, 2, and 1. Stepping one foot back and the hip distance from the other. Stepping the other foot back. Lunges. Back and up. Bending knee and ankle almost above each other on the front knee. Making sure your shoulders are high lifted in the sense that you're not leaning forward or rounding your back. And just walk back. Walking without getting anywhere. Hopefully what's happening with our training. Yeah. Let's do it to keep my pace. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. You're doing a good job. Okay. Strange kind of workout here. I like this just for fun of it. Kick your feet out to the side. Maybe even take your hands to the wrists or to your hips, it's called. And kick out. Yeah. 3, 2, and 1. Circles with your wrists. If you haven't been drinking enough all day, take a sip of water, and then we'll get started. So I bring my weights because I have it, but I'll definitely show you what to do without weight. Just take your hands here in front of you. We're ready to squat, toes out, knees in the same direction as the toes. Bend down, lift up. And that's it. So when you're up here, squeeze here all the way in. If you don't, you will only get half of the exercise, okay? So really squeeze the glutes together. And if you have weight, hold it in your hands and you'll get much more into your shoulders and, of course, into your legs and buttocks. And as this is a strength move, we don't want to be too fast. But going deep, really sitting down is important. I tend to say glutes around a knee length or alignment. So right now we have 3 exercises that we'll repeat. Squeeze 2 more here. I hope you begin to feel it in your legs. Beautiful. Awesome. Put your weight down to the side. Get on your mat. And because I have a yoga mat, I like to fold it because we're going to do back exercise. So to take a little bit, be a little bit aware of my hips, you can fold your mat. One arm in front of you, the other down by your side. Toes towards the floor or mat. Lift and switch hands. Now why? Lift your legs up as you move. Why do we do this? Just because it becomes so intensively boring to just do your lifts up and down. So switching things up a little bit is my recipe for a more fun, interesting, engaging workout. Let me know if you agree. Go a lift. See if your kneecaps can lift off the floor. How much of your quads, your legs in front, can lift from the mat. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Awesome. Now we're down here. Might as well stay down here. Then do side plank. So I will need at least a double mat for my elbow. And because this floor is a little bit slippery, I want to see if I can have my feet on the floor, on the mat. All right, side plank, that's where I'm going. Easier version down on your knee, always an option. You can go on your hand as well as you like. But before you do that, try this one. Take the top leg, doesn't matter which one, to the front, lift, pull it back. 4, ouch, 3, lift your hip, 2, 1. Now this was a really homebrewed exercise, so I hope you like it. Okay, just moving your foot, but if you're on your knee here doing the easier version, maybe you just stand still. Always option of doing that, or just doing your plank. So plank, lift your hip, lift through your shoulders that's stacked directly onto your knees, above your elbow. All right, 4, 3, bit of balance here. Woo. 2, 1. All right. That's tough. That's pretty tough. I agree. Get your shoulders back. Almost ready for a cardio. We're going to do an interval training thing, but not now. Repeating. You know what to do. Get your weight if you have. Squats, shoulder lifts. Get down and get low. Elevate your arms. And remember what I said before about your pelvic floor. Hold it and use your buttocks really pushing. Much more than you feel like you need. So whatever works. And of course, not leaning back. Okay, I will not lift my weight. Let's see, I'm gonna lean back because I may get a back injury. As we're standing up here, don't do this. Can't use your glutes. Straight spine. And then you can engage your glutes and buttocks. Breathe. And don't you stop yet. Don't stop yet. 4. Smile to me as you work out. 3, 2, and 1. Oh yeah, getting down on our mats yet again. Doing our back exercise. Again, one hand in front, top thumbs pointing up, the other one behind you. Try to go for higher lifts than the first time. Higher lifts. Lift your legs, lift your chest. Switch hands, arms. Let's go for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. A little bit slower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching. 4, 3, 2. It's hard. Keep that beat in your head if you can. 3, 2, 1. Bang. Up with your legs. Gather your feet if you want even more. Quads, leg involvement. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Come on, lift. We tend to do it quicker when we're tired. I hope you got till 4. Count of 4. 4. When I listen to myself, I don't watch my videos that often because I don't know, I just have no fun in that. So sometimes I think I'm switching between British English and American English. So sometimes I just laugh at myself. You can't see myself, see that I'm laughing to myself, but I am. Well, this is what I can do, okay? Lift up your hips, side plank. Are you ready? Top leg, 4 shifts. 4. 3, slowly. 2, keep. Just stay stacked in your side plank if you don't want to move your foot. That's it. Now I'm going to turn my back to you because I don't want to waste time switching my mats, okay? Shoulders, elbow alignment, top leg. 4. Lift up your hip. 3, 2, 1. All that balance, the challenge of balance that you might feel here, all that is supposed to strengthen you because we're using all the small muscles and tendons, all that we have as we try to keep our balance. So it's really good with balance. Of course, not if it hurts. Always. If it hurts, don't do it. It can have that burning sensation in your legs, for example, as we're gonna feel now, but not like that needle pain. Then you have to stop. Oh, sorry, my roll up here has a tendency of falling. Okay, you just do some exercises. This is live, so this is what can happen. Okay, stay there. Not gonna do that again. Okay. 45 seconds of workout, 15 seconds of rest, 4 exercises. So this is now that we're gonna punch our cardio system, we're gonna punch our burning fat and all that really intensely. The first one I will show you is you have your hands on the ground, one leg in between your hands here. Switch it up 3 times. 3, 2, 1. Take the back leg, kick it to the front, take it back. The back leg kicks front and back. Very important. 3, 2, 1. Back foot. Back. There. If you don't do that, you will not switch leg every time. I have 45 seconds saying bang, bang, a clock telling us what to do. 3, 2, 1, go. 45 seconds. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Go as fast. And then in your plank, of course, hands placed underneath your shoulders. You will hear a noise loud and clear when we're done. And I turned up the music just a little bit to get us more into this headspace of just working out. Keep moving. Keep it up. Almost there. 15 seconds of rest. And I will show you the next rest. Don't start yet. I will show you. Shuffle. Down. Down. Not starting yet. Now is your time. Go faster and shuffle lower if you like getting into your thighs. Now, if you tend to take 6 steps or whatever, don't worry. Just move. Take your hands up. Take your hands up. Come on. 10 more seconds. We should be out of breath. We should be really sore in our legs. 3, 2. Rest. I'll show you the next one. Here. Jump. Together. Hands down. Out. Out. Together. All right. If it's new one, I'm sorry, but not sorry. So you just have to get the rhythm of it. No holding down, no swaying in your back. You can get an injury. So engage your core. Really important. And don't stop. 10 seconds. I told you 4 exercises, but you gotta give it to me. Come on. Catch your breath. We're gonna do skipping with our invincible rope here. So in a minute, now lift your knees and go for a skipping tour. Maybe turning around. Maybe doing double jumps if you like to play. I'm gonna lift your knees a little bit higher. You can also jump like this. Now I'm skipping backwards. I can't recall if I could that, but now I can. Come on. 5 seconds. Get those knees moving. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Catch your breath. I will give you just 5 more seconds of rest before ding ding. We do those 4 exercises again. Yeah. Don't switch the screen off. All right. You know this is good for you. You know it. Okay, so the first one in just 5 seconds or 10, that 3-legged switch. Switch, yeah, and kick it forward. I've started the timer again. You can get down on your plank. 3, 2, 1. Back leg kick. Kick leg back. So you keep switching with your leg. Come to the front. And sorry if you don't jump. Go to our Friday or our Wednesday training if you speak Danish. Or do an English power yoga class. Because this is a class where we do a lot of jumping. 3, 2, 1. Strength combined with cardio, much more effective than jogging. Shuffling, not starting yet. That one. And as I said before, maybe take your hands up. Go. You need a little bit of space, but I guess you can manage. I think you're so creative that you can manage. Come on. And again, go low when you're switching or shuffling. If you want to get your legs burning even more. 10 awesome seconds left. Move it. Move it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Shake it out. Not standing still. Move. That one, I don't have a name for it. Sort of a jumping jack plank. You can always walk if you like. Walk out, walk back, walk out, walk your feet out. Step to the front. Come on. I'm working with you, challenging you, challenging myself. Famous. 8 seconds. Almost through our cardio pass. One last. Give me one last. 45 seconds. Skipping. Pick up your rope. Go. Now we can just go for high knees, but if we involve our hands, now you can see I'm a little bit sloppy because I'm tired. But if we involve our hands, we'll just get more of our muscles engaged, and we like that. All sorts of skipping are allowed, except this skipping. 8, 7, get those knees up. 3, 2, 1. Okay, as you catch your breath, take a bit of water. You're doing so great. Remember, this is worth it. If you don't want to spend 1.5 hours working out, you got to do interval training, strength and cardio together. That's effective. So, again, an option of getting your mat out. 2 exercises, switching them. One is strength, one is cardio. So, get into your plank. We are gonna form or train this part of our triceps. Get your elbows in by your ribs, on your toes, or on your knees for the easier version. Come down just a tiny bit, not like this, but bending your elbows and do a few of these on your toes, on your knees, as low or as high as you want to. Try to get both arms involved. If you're used to doing these pretty well, but can't do it now, it's because we have been working out, doing planks already. So your muscles are tired already. Let us give you 3 more. I hope you got 3. I didn't want to count because I trust you that you're doing a good job. I will take 125 kilos, about 3 pounds. If you're into pounds, take it in your hand and then go for this move. Now I'm not jumping, but let's jump if you can. So cardio, here we go. I think I'm gonna go on my mat. Don't switch sides. Switch sides yet. Talking too fast. 3, 2, 1. Now you switch without too much time in a break. Come, lift your knee. 3, 2, and 1. Let's do just 7. 7 is a holy number. I hope that was. In many religions, it's a holy number. Okay. Follow my pace. Down, and up. 7, 6. Elbows back through. 5, 4. Shoulders away from ears. 3, 2, and then the last one on our toes. Not sure I can. 1. Almost not. Okay. You ready? Get the halo going here. Come on. Not stopping. You know what to do. 2 exercises and we repeat those. And of course, we'll end up with an awesome belly ab exercise. Stretch. I won't be too long in those exercises here. If you want to give it a really good go. 3, 2, and 1. Yeah. Okay. So more into our abs. If you have a mat that's really sticky, do it on the floor. Reverse the turtle. You might have tried it. I'm not really sure if I've done it on the English one. You can take your hands behind your head or on your chest, whatever works. Lift your knees off, and then you do this. Or some sort of version of this. Now, I call it reverse turtle. As you can imagine, you being a turtle, laying on your shell, trying to get up on your legs again. And again, we can always switch direction. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. So just move. Get those abs moving and play with it. Have fun with it. Get your kids involved if you repeat this next time. Okay. All right. More abs and core. Going into our plank on our elbows, at least in the beginning. This you can do on your knees as well, but it's a little bit harder on your knees as we're gonna try to push ourselves forward, bending our elbows and move back. This is one part. Get up on your hands. Get up on your hands. Get on your elbows. Repeat. Try to get your hips staying as still as possible so you're not like dancing hips, okay? Get some distance in between your feet. That will help you in your balance. 3 more. And this is our second last. This is not fun, but it's effective. Yeah, we are done. Now we could repeat the turtle, and if you really enjoyed it, please do your turtle again. Please do your turtle again. Exercises should be fun. Okay, so if you enjoyed it, do some more of it. If you just want to get it done, bend your knees almost 90 degrees in your knees. And easy version, 1 foot down at the time. Here. Hips move down, so you keep your lower back in the mat through everything. If you want more, both feet and maybe even your hands behind your head. But if you have lower back issues, you might not want to go for both legs, especially if you know your core is not strong enough. This is getting into your lower abs, your abdomen, I think it's called, below your belly and around there. All right, so let's not be polite. This is what CrossYoga in 10 minutes is about. Here, let's not be polite. Come on, make a noise if it's hard. You are, for once, at home, probably by yourself, so you can express what you feel right now without worrying about other people's eyes or what. Oh. 3, 2, last. This is so hard. If you really squeeze your abs, it will be hard. Hands behind your head. And let's go up, switching from side to side. Like this. So not moving one shoulder higher than the other, but more swaying from side to side. That might be the right way to say it. Again, abs in. Holding your head without pulling it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Man, that hurts, but we're not done yet. Sit back. If you want to keep your balance, you might have your hands behind you. If you want to go and try to hold your balance, that should be a little more effective. So take your knees in, take your knees out. Like this or like this. I can't do it without my hands behind me. So maybe either can you. Come. The count of 3. My abs are burning. 2 and 1. You are amazing. You know that. I hope you know that. Our side planks are not completely done yet. Not completely done. I'm going to get into our glutes a little bit more, but in a version of a plank. So this time, take your knee, the lowest knee on the floor, maybe your arms up here, and dip your hip and lift, elevate your hip. Down and up. You can certainly do this on both feet. It just involves much more balance. So I didn't want to do this here. Come on, lift there through your shoulder. Maybe your shoulders get sore after this. Let's do 2. And last one. Beautiful. We have 3 more minutes. So I hope that you'll stay and get this exercise moving. Awesome. Knee and elbow aligned, foot on the ground, lower, and lift. And lift as high as you can. Don't go for medium, go for a large, extra large movement. You with me? Come on. Let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, more. We have done some back exercises, actually quite a few. So let's just get this area more engaged. Just again, lift your feet up, take your hands behind you, and then lift up feet. One leg down. Lift and one leg down. Not lifting your feet above your head, but more just up towards the ceiling or the sky or wherever you are. It's pretty hard to lift. But how much is each leg? How many kilos or pounds does one leg weight? 10? 15? I don't know. But our ab muscles trying, lower back, trying to lift, I don't know, 30, 40 kilos. So they're doing a good job. One more side, one more time on each leg. Beautiful. And then going into a reverse crunch. Nothing special, just get your legs above your head. Exhale as you have your knees in your head. Lower back glued to the mat as your toe reaches the floor or goes for reaching the floor. Maybe you don't reach the floor if you want to be mindful of your back. I love putting my hands behind my head because it eases some tensions that I tend to give myself in my neck as I do this. So this is for me helpful. And this will be our last exercise. So give me 4 huge movements with huge exhales. 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Well done. I'm so glad and honored and all that you want to join me in exercising. I hope you had fun and you feel like you're completely wasted. If not, I have an idea. Just repeat this program one more time. So give me a thumbs up or a comment, as I said in the beginning, if you were not there. YouTube ranks videos and stuff after how many comments and views and thumbs up you have. So if you want to help promoting CrossYoga on this channel, just put stuff on there so that more people will see what we're doing. And then, let me see, 3-4 minutes, I will have CrossYoga ready for you. And if you are getting ready, maybe take some time to stretch a little bit. I'm trying to change the music because we want to have a more calm atmosphere in our yoga. So I just want to repeat, interested in teacher training, becoming a yoga instructor. We have a training, 8-day training, ridiculously cheap, 100-hour training in both London and Amsterdam during this fall. And CrossYoga is Yoga Alliance approved. If this is just nonsense to you, just turn my voice off, okay? But CrossYoga is Yoga Alliance approved, which means that if you want to have a 200-hour certificate, you can do that with CrossYoga. Just need 2 weeks of training. But what I'm offering right now is 1 week, and then you can always add on an extra week if you're interested in that. All right. Getting ready to turn the pace down a whole lot. The theme of our CrossYoga is don't be polite with God. And that's been really on my heart for some days now, this theme. So I look forward to getting into it with you guys. If you know that you are pretty stiff in your body, like behind this part for many people are really tight. So if you lean forward, this is the most you can do. You can always bend your knees as you go forward, but also having some blocks or books or water bottles in front of you, 2 would be great, 1 for each hand. That's really helpful to get you more flexible as time goes. If you're done, ready to sit down on your mat, or even lay down if you prefer, and take a huge breath. And doing yoga in general, and especially cross yoga slow doesn't require that you're in good shape or that you're really used to doing yoga. You're welcome no matter body size, experience, or even religion. I think this topic will speak to each and every one of us. So you can begin today by laying down on your mat. I will begin in just 30 seconds or so, just wanting to let the last few people join us here. So you can get down on your mat with your legs bended if you're ready already. So welcome to each and every one of you. My name is Ria, and today I will hope and pray that you will get to know healing and release in your body, soul, and mind as we engage in the topic of don't be polite with God. Don't be polite with God. Letting go and just being a child. So I believe that at the end of this 45 minutes class, you will maybe feel a little bit as a new person. Start by laying down on your mat, feet on the mat, knees bended, and let your knees point in towards each other so your knees kind of support each other. If your elbows can stay down on the mat and you can reach your belly, that's a really nice thing to do because then you can follow your breath with your hands. So if you close your eyes and take a huge breath, a huge inhale, I hope you can feel that your hands are lifting, elevating as your belly expands. And as you exhale, your hands kind of falls down, your belly feels more soft. So just breathe for a few moments. Notice how you feel with your hands as you inhale and exhale. Being polite is something that a lot of us are raised up to be. And of course, it's a good thing being polite. But what we sometimes forget, or at least I forget, is that God is not like a regular person. If something happens, I don't have to nod and smile if I am hurt or if I get angry or wounded. I don't need to have a facade as I encounter with God. God created you and me. He knows our every thought, our every emotion, our every feeling. So why in the world are we trying to be polite when we pray or when we're just together with God? Keep breathing. Just switch the music there. Let go of your hands and take your hands above your head, straightening out your legs as well. Keep your eyes closed and just do a long body shape, trying to stretch yourself as tall, as long as you can. And then hug your knees, lift your head off the floor, take your forehead to your knees somewhat. Maybe roll from side to side. Exhale whenever you need it. Release and let your feet reach the floor, not crossing your legs. Going for a hip lift. So get your root lock and then lift your hip off the floor as high as you can. And slowly roll your spine back on the floor. And let's do this a few more times. Inhale as you lift up. Not trying to do it just the right way, but trying to do it what feels good in the sense that you know you are engaging your muscles and it's good for you. So quit being polite with God also has a lot to do with how we pray. I remember when I was a kid, I was really thinking a lot about praying when I was praying inside myself or out aloud, if that was something that I did. I tried to express myself being polite, and that's of course a good thing again. But when it comes to being a child of God, we don't have to pretend or put on this nice facade. Let's just be and tell God exactly what we feel. Why not? Honestly, why not? Windshield your legs from side to side. So is there anything that you have not said to God, or could be someone else if you're not big on God, that you actually just feel like you need to express? You've never said it. At least not the way you meant it. You haven't said clearly how much you were hurt or asked that question, why? So is there anything you need to express right now? Maybe you get into downward facing dog and just sigh it out, screaming inside yourself if you need to, or out aloud if you're in a place where it's doable. God, why? Maybe with your body shape, jump, whatever. Getting your mountain pose, maybe kick out if you need to do that. Body language is also a language. Let's get into our mountain pose, stepping to the front end of our mat and standing up. Close your eyes and with your body, express what you need to express right now. You don't have a lot of emotions. Don't worry, just stay there. But if you have, maybe do whatever. If you feel like standing still, maybe you speak it out loud, even if you haven't prayed out aloud before. Welcome just to say something, you know. Let go of being afraid of offending God. Take your hands up above the ceiling and fold forward. Lift up your chest a tiny bit, and then place your hands on your feet. Jump or walk back to your plank. Either on your toes or on your knees, lower down to your low plank, chest on the mat. Here, lift up your chest, cobra. Stay there for a breath, taking your shoulders back. Tuck under your toes. Use your abs as you lift up your hip and back into downward facing dog. Looking to the front end of our mat, walking or jumping, and doing this a few more times. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale as you forward fold. Warming up, and then we'll take the pace down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plank to low plank. Take your time. And of course, take a breath or two if you need to. Inhale as you lift your chest. And exhale in downward facing dog. Take a breath, staying in down dog. Feet or heels go as low as you can towards the mat. One more time to the front end of your mat. Forward fold, exhale. High mountain, inhale. And exhale, reach forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale down to your plank. Chest lifts, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. One more big breath. Again to the front end of your mat. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, mountain pose. And hands down by your side. Slowing everything down a bit. Opening up our hearts. In the Bible, there's a verse in Lamentations 2:19 that says, pour out your heart like water in the presence of the Lord. Pour out your heart like water in the presence of the Lord. So we're going to open up our hearts, a heart opening posture. Take your hands behind you, fold your hands, and lean back with a notification or being mindful of your lower back. Offering your chest, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Pouring out our hearts like water, like a waterfall, just pouring out, not holding anything back. Straighten out your spine. If it's too much, you could always take a hold of your lower arm. But now going into a forward fold with your hands folded, shoulder stretch. You can bend your knees a bit if that's helpful. Bending your knees and let your hands fall almost down like the water. Gathering your toes and your knees. Chair pose. Bending down as low as you need to today. Go higher in your chair if you're sore or just don't want to go too too hard today. Hands together in front of your chest, prayer pose. Or at least a nice prayer pose, right? This looks so holy and smiley, but maybe you don't want that today. Just take your hands somewhere else. But take a few breaths in chair pose, whatever you do with your hands. With your hands down by your side, try to come up on your toes. So lifting up, squeezing your knees together, straightening out your legs. Come up on your toes. Pull your hands a little bit behind you and stand as tall as your balance allows. Ooh. Down into chair pose again, bending your knees, foot and heels, feet and heels on the ground, hands reaching forward. Let's do this a little bit faster, but not too fast. Straightening out your legs, hands behind you, up on your toes, your front of your foot. Moving slowly back into chair pose, hands reaching forward. Again, you can do it with the pace of your breath, but I prefer to do it a little bit slower. A few more times. If it's too hard on your top of your feet, just stay on the whole sole of the feet. The next time your heels reach the floor, fold forward and get some space, hip distance in between your feet. Right leg, moving it back into warrior one. So that back leg points around 45 degrees to the side, not aligned with the back end of the mat, but pointing a little bit forward. Heels not aligned, but again, hip width distance. Pulling your right hip forward so hips are closed. Take your hands up. Try to move a little bit forward so knee and ankle are above each other, and the distance here, of course, between your legs, where your feet can be smaller if you need to. Right hand moves behind your shoulder blades. Left hand behind you, and try to see if you can reach the fingers. If not, just take hold of your shirt, or if you have a sock or something behind you. One more huge breath. Letting go. Hands down on the mat. Lift up your heel. Release tension in that leg or that foot. Warrior two, so turn your foot around. Now your back foot is aligned with the short end of your mat. Lifting up. Maybe you go for a straightened leg at the beginning of your pose and then into warrior two. Looking towards your front hand. And if you feel different things coming up, as I asked before, is there anything you have not said to God that you need to say to Him and express as rough, as ugly, as hard as it is? Maybe you're kind of full with emotions right now, and it's okay. Just stay with it. You don't have to analyze it or understand it. Just breathe. Think like this mat is God's amazing love for you. It can contain you and your emotions. All right, don't worry about it. triangle, straightening out front leg. Push, move your hip a little bit back, still aligned with your heels, so your heels are aligned, and lean forward a tiny bit or further down if you have that practice. If you're going for a strengthening pose or just want to release some tension, maybe you want to have this pose with you. Stay here, really get your abs going. And release. Hands down on your mat, lifting up back heel, downward facing dog. Exhale. Let's just stay in downward facing dog. I don't know if you can have a look at me, but lion breath, if you know that, go ahead and do your lion breath. If you don't know it, I will come closer to the screen so you'll be able to see me. So lion breath is ugly, but it's so rewarding. You take your tongue out and you look up and then you exhale like that. Try to do that in downward facing dog. Huge inhale, and I hope I'm not too noisy on the microphone. Let go. Stop being polite. One more time. Awesome. Jump or walk to the front end of your mat yet again. Forward fold, exhale. Mountain pose, inhale. Palms together. Take your elbows a little bit out to the sides and squeeze palms together. Really squeeze. Getting your shoulders, arms involved. Like you're pushing. Maybe you feel like sometimes you're pushing things, pulling things. Your next exhale, release that tension and lean forward. Left foot moves behind you. Warrior one again. So that back foot a little bit out to the side, closing your hip. So this time it's left hip that we want to move, aligned with the front hip. Hands up, but in a somewhat relaxed and soft version. Left hand behind you, right hand also behind you, but from the bottom, so to say. As before, take a hold of your shirt or whatever you have, if your hands can reach each other. Try not to push your head, but left elbow a little bit out to the side. Beautiful. Letting go. Hands down on your mat, lifting your heel and releasing tension there. Move the back foot around, warrior two. Shorten the distance between your heels for an easier version or not going as low. Arms again out. Maybe take a look. Front end and back end of your hands somewhat evened out. Two more breaths. triangle pose. So extending your leg without doing it too much. Hip moves back as you lean forward, being aware that it's not a competition of having your hand reaching the floor. It's a matter of stretching, feeling ease in a pose. And as we did before, you might want to take your hand off your foot or your leg and move it forward if you're into a little bit more strength training. All right. Finding downward facing dog, taking your time. Child's pose, or another pose that feels nice and calming to you. My child's pose is always with distance between my knees because then there's space for my belly. My toes kind of reach each other, but again, that's just a version. Forehead on the ground, hands forward or behind you. If you feel like you want to protect yourself, maybe just take a hold of yourself as a little bit of a ball laying down there. And I'll read a version or just a short passage from my book, Meditative Movements. Frustration can make it hard to believe that God cares for us. We might ask, if God really cares for me, how can God allow this to happen to me? Why is God not removing the source of my frustration? I don't know why God allows you to be frustrated, but I do believe that God knows your questions and that God's desire is that you bring your frustrations directly to Him. Yes, even to scream out to God. Get on your feet and cry out loud your questions and your frustrations. Talk out loud to God. Yell at God if that's what you feel like doing. Talk as if God is right there with you. Let go of politeness and allow yourself to be the child that your Heavenly Father, your supernatural parent are. Lift up your hips again. Take your hands out to the side and lift up one last time in downward facing dog. Making space to breathe. Try to see if you can pull your shoulders a little bit away from each other and away from your ears. This time, walk your hands back to your feet so you will be standing on the back end of your mat. Roll up to mountain pose. A little bit of a balanced posture now. Take the weight of your body on your left foot. So maybe spread out your toes a little bit. Right knee lifts up and let your Right hand, take a hold of your knee. So knee and hips somewhat aligned. Maybe left hand out to the side for a better balance. You want to challenge your balance, have a look at your left hand so your gaze is not steady. Breathe. Maybe opening up your hip. You want to take a hold of your feet, your toes, and straightening out your leg. That's a more advanced version, but welcome to do that. Move your leg back and place it hip width apart from the other foot. Right leg is ready to trying to hold our balance as left knee lifts. Take hold of your knee, flexing your foot if you have not already. Again, option of looking towards your hand. And don't be afraid of falling. You don't have to prove anything. And again, moving your knee out to the side. And there you might want to lift your knee a little bit higher than your hip. Move it back. Both feet on the ground. Take your hands behind your fingers, reach up. And go for a back bend with the support of your hands on your lower back. Pulling your hips a little bit forward, again lifting up your chest. Nothing to hide and nothing to be afraid of. If you think about the people, the stories in the Bible, I mean, Moses, he encountered God in a burning bush, if you believe that story, and he kept making excuses. He's saying, no, I can't do that. I mean, if I met God in a burning bush, I would probably just be, okay, I'll go. But Moses was not polite. Straighten out your spine. Definitely not polite. Coming to your forward fold. And we can step on our hands this time, just to switch things up a little bit. So palms facing up, and take your feet on your palms, stepping on it. Try not to fall in front of you, and straightening out your legs as much as possible as you lean forward. And there are lots of examples in the Bible where people has not been polite with God, has changed God's mind by being honest and expressing their feelings. So let's do that. Lifting up your feet, getting some movement into your wrists, coming down on all fours, and maybe some free movements on all fours before coming down. If you feel that you'll get chilly, as we're going to do some stretching on the mat, maybe you'll take some socks on or have a shirt nearby. As we come down on our back, we're going to do happy baby. And this pose for me is so ridiculous. I mean, I like the stretch, but it's a vulnerable pose and it's somewhat ridiculous. But I like it because it reminds me that on this mat, doing this odd pose, that God sees me, and there's nothing wrong with being odd or weird or expressing what you feel, not being polite. So let's go for that pose. Bending your knees, taking your knees out to the side. Your feet are flexed. Hands in between your knees, but lifted up. And then I like to take my pinky finger towards my heel, take a hold of my foot like this, elbows kind of reach the inside of my knee, because then I can pull my knees out and I can pull my feet down. So that's it. Maybe you don't find this as odd as I do. But you'll feel something in your inner thighs and maybe on your hamstrings here. And if you feel like playing around with this pose, just sway from side to side, close your eyes. And if you really want to play with it, you might bend one knee, stretch out another, and just see where that is going. Letting go of that pose. Spinal twist. Lifting your feet off the ground. 90-degree angle in your feet. And take your legs out to the side. If you're doing your right side, you take your leg out to the right side, your right hand, reach for your thighs here. Your left arm moves behind your opposite direction of your knees. Try to reach the floor. I love my nose pointing up. Closing your eyes. And if you don't feel thin here because you're pretty flexible, you can take your top leg and pull it underneath, crossing your legs like this. This will pull more in your glutes and lower back. So do you know why you might tend to be polite with God and not really expressing how you feel? Do you have an idea of why you do that? Moving out of that spinal twist, as we're going to do it the other side as well, of course. Lifting up, legs out to the side, coming all the way up on your hip, side of your hip. Right arm out. And don't force what you can do on one side to what you can do on the other side. Maybe one reason of being polite in our prayers and all that is just habit. We're just used to doing it. So we keep doing it without really thinking about it. Or maybe it's because that we think that God will only love the nice and sweet parts of us, and all the ugly stuff we have to kind of hide away. Or maybe we just think that we have never talked to God before, so that's why. Okay, kind of, what? right? A little bit of resting. So come down on your spine, on your floor. If you like after this, if you like after this spinal twist to stretch your spine in this direction, as we did at the beginning, take a hold of your knees. That is really nice. Right, resting pose, straightening out your legs. How much distance there is between your feet, that's completely up to you. I like a bit of distance. Feet out to the side, hands on the floor, palms facing up. And try to take your shoulders down and down. Hands here, pinky fingers towards your thighs. Inhale, and as you exhale, send a wave of relaxation from the top of your head down to your toes. And the meditation part today is about being known. Accepting and receiving that you're fully known. And you're fully loved. Maybe you picture yourself as a house. And if you have visitors coming to your house, you probably have cleaned your entrance, cleaned your bathroom, tucked your clothes into your cupboards or drawers. If there's anything messy, you probably have moved it away. Not saying you have to, but some tend to do that. That the guests will only see the nice part, the clean part, the happy part. But if you picture Jesus visiting your house, he asks you to show you, to show him around. Maybe taking him into a laundry room where all the underwear is hanging, drying. Into the bedroom where the beds might not be made all fine and beautiful. And down into the basement where all the trash and all the stuff that you don't know what to do with is placed. Where it's cold, dirty, and messy. Jesus knows your whole house. And he doesn't think less of you. I'll finish the session with a prayer, but you know that you're welcome to stay on your mat, meditating on Jesus in your house, your whole house. I thank you, God, Jesus and Holy Spirit, that you know us, that we can be unpolite, we can scream, we can shout our pain, frustration, the things we don't understand out to you, because you know we feel that anyway. By your grace, you can embrace us with everything we are, because we are loved. Amen. I hope to see you again next Friday or on some of our videos. Blessings to you.